Have you ever looked at 10,000 naira and you have thought, what can this money really do, or what difference can this money really make? As a matter of fact, in this economy, it is not even sufficient for you to buy 10 liters of fuel for your car. In fact, it might not even be enough to subscribe for your internet connectivity in a single month. But what if I told you that 10,000 naira you easily ignore can be one of the best financial decisions you can ever make? Now, hold on. Before you say, oh, these people have come again with their get rich quick scheme or with their Ponzi scheme. So this is not Ponzi scheme. This is not betting. Instead, I'm going to show you something much more powerful and very practical. And I won't just be talking about it. Trust your girl now. I'm going to be showing you how it really works. So in this video, we are going to be doing two things. First, I'm not just going to show you how 10,000 naira can grow into tens of millions, but I'm also going to walk you through the numbers. Yes, we are going to see it for ourselves. And if you are interested in checking it out for yourself, I'm going to be sending you the link directly, so make sure that you watch to the end. Then in the second part of this video, we are going to be answering some very important questions. Where exactly can I put this 10,000 naira? So we'll be looking at different investment options available for you, and most importantly, which platforms you can use to start investing, even if you are a beginner. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adeshola. You can call me Shows. I'm an economist, an investment analyst, and a chartered stockbroker. On this channel, we talk about everything investing and personal finance. If you've been following up with this channel, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Thank you so much for your likes. Thank you so much for your shares. Thank you so much for your subscription. And if you've been watching and following up my channel and you are yet to subscribe, please, what are you waiting for? Please just hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell so that you always get notified anytime I upload new videos. And if you are new to this channel, I want to say a very big welcome. If you find my content helpful, please don't forget to subscribe. Before we jump into the calculations, there's something I want you to understand. One thing a lot of people ignore is the fact that little money actually counts. And so that 10,000 naira, they actually feel that it is too small or too insignificant to be invested. But here is the thing, when it comes to investing, it is not really about how much you started with. It is much more about how long you stay invested, or how long your money stay invested. Because the longer your money stays invested, the more opportunity it has to grow. And that is what is called compounding, or that is the power of compounding. So when a lot of people hear the word compounding, they think it is one big word. So think of compounding this way. When you invest, your money earns returns, and then the returns earns returns. And then over time, your money begins to build on itself. And that is exactly what we are going to demonstrate today. So let's do the math together. All right, so let me activate my economist mode. You know, we economists now, before we make any calculations, we always make assumptions. So we are staying with you investing 10,000 naira every single month. And as a matter of fact, I can even encourage you to increase it as time goes on. But for now, for the purpose of this video, let's assume 10,000 naira invested every single month consistently. And so we are also going to be making assumptions about some periods of time. Maybe let's say 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. Let's see how, if you invest 10,000 naira every single month for this period, how much will you have gotten at the end of this period? The most important part of this is consistency. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, Shows, 15 years, 20 years, these periods are too long. But trust me, you can't imagine how time really flies. So I was discussing with someone recently, and we're talking about the last time I visited the place. And I was like, oh, the last time I visited that place was actually in 2010, where we had an occasion, we had a family occasion. And it just dawned on me that 2010 was actually 16 years ago. So imagine if I had started 15 years or 16 years ago, 10,000 naira consistently. So let's see what that amount of money can do for us. So the last assumption we're going to be making in this video is the fact that your investment earns an average of 15% annually. Yes, let's stay with 15%. I know a lot of us may be thinking, oh, I've gotten more than 15% in some other investments. Yes, that is why I want us to be conservative in this video. As a matter of fact, some investments have done over 50%, 80%, even over 100% in this 2026 alone. Because remember, there is a particular principle when it comes to investing, that past performance does not guarantee future. Since we have made our assumptions, let's see what the numbers have to say. For this demonstration, I'm going to be using a free online compound interest calculator. So like I mentioned earlier, if this interests you, if you are interested in using this compound interest calculator, and as a matter of fact, I think you should use it yourself so that you can do the simulation, you can check different years, you can test on different returns or different interest rates per year. So if this is of interest to you, just type interested in the comment section, and I'm going to be sending the link directly to you.
All right, so now that we have made our assumptions, let's see what happens. So we are investing 10,000 naira every month at an average return of 15%. So let's start with 5 years. Let's say, okay, we want to invest 10,000 naira for the next 10 years. So let's see what happens. So for our initial investment, let's assume the same 10,000 naira is initially invested, and then 10,000 naira contributed every month for 5 years. For 5 years, with an estimated interest rate of 15%. So let's see how compounding annually, let's see what it will give us. So compounding annually for 5 years, saving 10,000 naira every single month, means that at the end of that period we would have contributed a total of 610,000 naira. Remember, because of the initial investment we had. So at 15% over the next 5 years, that money would have reached 829,000 naira. So that's the first one. So let's also calculate for 10 years. The same assumptions, but let's change the period or the duration. That's 10 years, still at 15%. So let's see what it gives us. Wow. So for 10 years, it means that in total you'd have contributed a sum of 1.2 million naira plus the 10,000 naira initially invested. And at the end of that period, the money would have amounted to over 2 million naira. You can see how time actually changes things. So let's assume for 15. Let's assume for 15 years. Still assume the same assumptions. Let's calculate that. So in 15 years, you can see in 15 years you'd have invested a total of 1.8 million. However, because of the investment and then the future value reaches over 5 million naira. So let's go for 20 years. Let's go for 20. 20 years implies that. So in 20 years, you would have over 12 million naira. However, you would have contributed just 2.4 million naira. So let's do 30 years. So let's calculate that. Wow. So in 30 years, you will have over 52 million naira. So how much? Let's see how much you'd have contributed. You would have contributed just 3.6 million naira. However, because of your consistency, that contribution would have amounted to over 52 million naira when invested at just 15%. Same 10,000 naira invested every single month, that amounts to over 50 million naira after 30 years. So here is what I want you to take away from all this. The lesson is not just that 10,000 naira magically becomes millions. The main lesson is the fact that small amounts, when invested consistently and given enough time, can grow into something far bigger than what most people imagine. And that is the real power of compounding. You can see the variation, you can see how much you actually invested, how much was the capital, how much was the contribution. It was just 3.6 million. However, this money has actually grown over this period of time to over 50 million. So like I mentioned earlier, if you are interested in this calculator, simply type interested in the comment section and I'm going to be sending you the link directly. So Make sure you type interested.
So now, after seeing the numbers, I know there is a question in your mind. Where exactly can I put my money that can earn me return as much as this? So let's start with the first one. The first one I'm going to be talking about today is mutual funds. Yes, I'm talking about this first because mutual funds is actually one of the best ways to start investing, especially if you are a beginner. So think of mutual funds like this. Let's say there are a number of people, let's say so many people, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 people who want to invest, but they don't have the time or the resources or the knowledge to know exactly where to put their money into. They can put their money into mutual funds, and here a professional or a fund manager helps you to manage the fund. And they don't just do that for free, oh, yes. They don't do that for free. They are going to charge you a commission, yes. They are going to charge you a fee to do that for you. So the money is pushed together and they are invested. And these professionals or these fund managers help you to manage your fund based on your objectives. Now, one thing you should understand about mutual fund is the fact that not all mutual funds are the same. Mutual funds are designed for different purposes, different kinds of investors and different kinds of goals. For example, if you're someone that says, oh, Charles, I don't like taking risk at all. I just want my money to be safe. I don't want to take any form of risk at all. Then money market mutual fund is a go-to for you. So the money market funds invest in relatively low risk instruments, and they are popular with people that are looking for stability and liquidity. Another type of mutual fund is the equity fund. Yeah, so for this one, it is mainly for people who have the mindset of leaving their money for long term. So if on the other hand, you are investing with a long term mindset and you are comfortable with some fluctuations along the way, then an equity fund may be worth considering because, it invests mainly in shares of companies, giving you the opportunity for higher long-term growth. So one thing you need to understand about equity fund is the fact that equity fund performs based on the performance of the shares that are invested in them. So the majority part of the money invested in an equity fund is into shares of companies. So the performance in it depends on the performance of the shares or the performance of the shares of those companies in them. So there are also dollar mutual funds. So these dollar mutual funds are invested mainly in dollar denominated assets. So this is great, especially for people that want to have exposure into foreign investments. So there are also Sharia compliant mutual funds. So these funds are invested mainly in instruments that are Sharia compliant. Now you may want to ask, so how do I invest in mutual funds? So the process is pretty much simple. All you need to do is reach out to an asset management company. There are so many asset management companies in Nigeria. For instance, we have the Stanbic IBTC Asset Management, we have the Meristem, we have the Afrinvest, we have so many of them. So you can reach out to any of them, and the process is always very simple. Most times you can even do it at the comfort of your home. You can do it on your phone. All you need to do is fill out the KYC forms, and then you can fund your account and you can start investing. I have a video on this channel where I talked about step by step how to invest with the Stanbic IBTC Asset Management. So you can always check it out in the description. So the second one I'm going to be talking about today is actually one of my favorite investments. Yes, and you can guess that's right. But hold on, have you been watching this video up to this time and you are yet to subscribe to my channel? Please, what are you waiting for? Kindly hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell so that you can always get notified whenever I upload new videos. So my favorite investment, or one of my favorites, is actually investing in the stock market. So when you buy shares of companies, you are buying part ownership of those companies. Whatever happens to the companies, you take part in it. So if the company does well, or if the company performs well, you also have the opportunity to share in their profit. So there are different ways to make money when it comes to investing in shares of companies. The first one is through capital appreciation. So capital appreciation has to do with the fact that, when you buy a particular share, say for 100 naira, and it appreciates or it does well and it improves in price to say 150 naira. So the difference between how much it is currently and how much you bought it is what you have gained as capital appreciation. So in this instance now, you have gained 150 naira minus 100 naira, which is actually 15 naira. So the second way you can make money when it comes to investing in shares is through dividend payment. So some of these companies have policies to pay dividends to their shareholders. So it is mostly a way to actually reward you for being a part owner of the business. So these are the ways you can actually make money when it comes to investing in the stock market. And over the past few years, the Nigerian stock market has proven to be very, very rewarding. A lot of people have made a whole lot of money when it comes to investing in the stock market. So now you may be wondering, how then can I invest in the Nigerian stock market, or how can I invest in the stock market? The process is pretty much simple. All you need to do is get in touch with a licensed stockbroker, and then they are going to open an account for you. Once your account is opened and your KYC is completed, you would be assigned a CSCS account. Yes, so your CSCS account is a place where your shares are safely stored after you buy them. After that, you simply fund your brokerage account and place your order to buy your shares. As a matter of fact, there are so many stockbrokers in Nigeria that allows you to do all this from the comfort of your home through your phone. So I have a detailed video on this channel where I talked about how to invest in the Nigerian stock market, and I did it step by step. I made the process step by step from beginner to pro. So you can always check out the link in the description box. So there are several licensed stockbroking firms in Nigeria. We have the Meristem, Afrinvest, Cardinal Stone, United Capital, CSCS. So another investment is an exchange traded fund. Yes, ETF. So think of ETF this way. So instead of using your money to buy shares in just one company, an ETF allows you to buy a basket of companies with a single investment. So rather than putting all your eggs in one basket, you are spreading them across many baskets. And that is why if one company doesn't perform well, the others can help balance things out. So how do you invest in ETFs? Just like the stocks, you need to open a stockbroking account. And once your account is set up, you can buy your ETFs through your stockbroker the same way you buy your shares. So another one I'll be talking about today is the high yield savings account. So think of the high yield savings account as a better place to make your savings grow. So instead of you just leaving your money in the regular bank account, and you know what I'm talking about now, by the time you get back to that account, by the time you check back the money you have in that account, you must have seen that there might have been a reduction or a particular charge or something that has made your money reduced. So the high yield savings account is a better place to make your savings grow, and also a place where you can easily access your money. So how do you get started? Today, there are several licensed financial institutions and digital investment platforms, that offer these kinds of products. Some popular ones are the PiggyVest, the Cowrywise, RiseVest, the Pluto Smule by Afrinvest, and so many other ones. So opening an account with them is usually very straightforward. All you need to do is simply download their app or visit their website, sign up, complete your KYC, fund your account, and then choose the savings or investment option that best suits your goal. So if you are wondering which one of these platforms you want to start with, I have a full video on this channel where I reviewed 7 savings and investment apps in Nigeria. Just check the description box and you'll see the link to that video right there. So I hope by now you have been able to have a change of mind to what that 10,000 naira can do. If you give that money time and you stay consistently, over time you would see that the money can grow into something you more than expect. So I'd love to hear from you. Which one of these investments have you started with? Which ones do you think you prefer, and which one do you think, if you were to be a starter or if you were to be a beginner, which one do you think you would want to start with? So let me know in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. So if you have found my content helpful, please don't forget to like this video, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. Catch up with you next time.